Topic 14. Project Portfolio Governance. Project portfolio governance is the structured framework through which organizations select, prioritize, monitor, and control portfolios of strategic projects to ensure that investments align with corporate strategy, optimize resource utilization, manage risk, and maximize enterprise value creation. Unlike traditional project management, which focuses on delivering individual projects on time and within budget, project portfolio governance takes an enterprise-wide perspective by evaluating how multiple projects collectively support organizational objectives and long-term business transformation. For modern chief financial officers, CFOs, project portfolio governance has become a strategic capability that integrates capital allocation, performance management, risk oversight, and digital transformation into a disciplined governance process. Leading executive CFO programs emphasize that finance leaders must move beyond budget control to become strategic stewards of enterprise investment portfolios. Organizations increasingly invest simultaneously in digital transformation, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, sustainability initiatives, operational excellence, acquisitions, innovation programs, and international expansion. Because financial and managerial resources are limited, CFOs play a critical role in ensuring that project portfolios remain aligned with strategic priorities while delivering measurable financial and operational benefits. Project portfolio governance begins with strategic alignment. Every project within the portfolio should contribute directly to corporate objectives such as revenue growth, cost transformation, digital capability development, customer experience improvement, sustainability, regulatory compliance, or competitive positioning. Projects that no longer support strategic priorities should be restructured, postponed, or terminated to allow resources to be redirected toward higher value initiatives. This governance discipline ensures that investment decisions remain connected to enterprise strategy rather than departmental preferences. An effective governance framework includes several key components: project selection, portfolio prioritization, resource allocation, performance monitoring, risk management, governance oversight, and post-implementation evaluation. Organizations establish formal governance committees, often including the CEO, CFO, Chief Strategy Officer, Chief Information Officer, and business leaders, to evaluate project proposals and approve investment decisions based on strategic importance, financial returns, organizational capacity, and enterprise risk considerations. The project selection process typically combines quantitative financial analysis with qualitative strategic assessment. CFOs evaluate projects using net present value (NPV), internal rate of return (IRR), return on invested capital (ROIC), payback period, and economic value added (EVA), while also considering strategic fit, customer impact, digital capability development, regulatory requirements, ESG objectives, and competitive advantage. Modern organizations increasingly recognize that projects generating the highest short-term financial returns may not necessarily create the greatest long-term enterprise value. Portfolio prioritization requires balancing multiple dimensions simultaneously. Organizations must allocate resources across innovation projects, technology investments, infrastructure modernization, acquisitions, operational improvements, and compliance initiatives while maintaining financial discipline and organizational capacity. Finance leaders evaluate trade-offs among growth opportunities, risk exposure, liquidity constraints, talent availability, and implementation complexity to achieve an optimal portfolio composition. Digital transformation has significantly increased the importance of project portfolio governance. Enterprises often manage dozens or hundreds of concurrent digital initiatives involving artificial intelligence, cloud migration, cybersecurity, automation, enterprise resource planning, ERP, advanced analytics, and customer experience platforms. Without centralized governance, overlapping investments, duplicated efforts, and resource conflicts can reduce organizational effectiveness. CFOs support digital governance by establishing investment criteria, benefit realization frameworks, milestone tracking systems, and financial oversight processes that maximize technology returns. Risk management is an integral element of project portfolio governance. Large strategic projects frequently encounter uncertainties related to technology adoption, Supply chain disruptions, regulatory changes, cybersecurity threats, macroeconomic conditions, organizational resistance, and implementation complexity. Portfolio governance incorporates enterprise risk management through scenario planning, sensitivity analysis, stress testing, contingency planning, and continuous monitoring to improve resilience and decision-making under uncertainty. Performance measurement extends beyond traditional project management metrics, such as schedule adherence and budget compliance. Effective governance evaluates whether projects achieve intended strategic outcomes, operational improvements, customer benefits, innovation objectives, and financial value creation. Organizations increasingly employ balanced scorecards, enterprise dashboards, and key performance indicators (KPIs) that integrate financial, operational, digital, customer, and sustainability metrics into comprehensive portfolio oversight. A critical governance principle is dynamic portfolio management. Rather than approving projects once and monitoring them passively, leading organizations continuously reassess project portfolios in response to changing market conditions, technological advances, competitive developments, geopolitical risks, and strategic priorities. Resources may be reallocated, projects accelerated, delayed, or terminated as new information emerges. This agile governance approach improves capital efficiency and organizational adaptability. Project portfolio governance also promotes accountability through clearly defined decision rights, governance structures, reporting standards, and executive sponsorship. CFOs ensure financial transparency, investment discipline, and benefit realization by establishing standardized business case methodologies, funding approval processes, post-investment reviews, and governance reporting mechanisms that provide boards and executive leadership with timely strategic information. The Global Competency Framework emphasizes competencies in project management, business planning, capital expenditure, and investment evaluation, strategy, performance management, and risk management as essential capabilities for finance professionals. Executive finance leaders are expected to identify value-creating projects, align investments with organizational strategy, monitor implementation performance, evaluate business outcomes, and support enterprise-wide governance processes that strengthen long-term value creation. In today's environment of continuous business transformation and digital disruption, project portfolio governance has become a fundamental leadership capability that ensures strategic initiatives generate measurable enterprise value. Organizations that combine disciplined governance, dynamic capital allocation, rigorous performance measurement, and integrated risk management are better positioned to execute strategy successfully, accelerate innovation, and achieve sustainable long-term competitive advantage.